And I want to share a story of Bible translation. There was a translator named Lee Bramlett who was working in the Hadi language in Cameroon, and he and his wife, Tammy, had learned that the Hadi verbs always ended in one of three letters, an I, an A, or a U. And they had learned the word for love, and they had heard it, these three words. They had heard the Dvu'd, and they had heard the Dvu'd, but they had never heard the word Dvu'd in the culture anywhere. And they thought it was strange because grammatically it should exist. So he asked his translation team, can you Dvu'd your wife? And they said, well, yes, that would mean that you had loved her, but the love was gone. And so then he said, well, could you Dvu'd your wife? It's like, well, yes, as long as she continued to do things that pleased you, you would continue to love her. And then he said, could you Dvu'd your wife? And they all laughed. They said, oh no, we would never say that. I mean, that would mean that you would have to keep loving your wife no matter what she did. Even if she never got you water and never made the meals that you like, even if she committed adultery, you'd be compelled to keep loving her. No. We would never say Dvu'd. It just doesn't exist. And then the translator said, could God Dvu'd people? And the men sat in silence, and then tears began to come down their cheeks. And they said, do you know what that would mean? That would mean that God kept loving us over and over, millennia after millennia, while all the time we rejected his great love. That he is compelled to love us, even though we've sinned more than any other people. So for centuries, that word had been there. It was encoded into their language. It was unused, but it was available grammatically, and it was quite understandable. And so the translators used it in that translation in John 3:16. They also used it in Ephesians 5:25. Husbands, Dvu'd your wives, as Christ Dvu'd the church. The message of God's unconditional love changes cultures. And it was true when Paul wrote it as much as it's true today.